Hey, how are you guys doing? So as of course you know, the 11th episode just aired for the anime. We got 2 more episodes after this. So just as before, we will have a poll where you guys can vote in for your favorite girl after watching this episode, where 1 is your favorite girl and 11 being your least favorite girl. This episode is speculated to be about Ayumu and you, and we have some things to be answered, so we'll have to see how that goes in this anime episode. Of course, if you want to go log into the Love High School Festival All-Stars game, you'll get free stuff. Nothing too crazy. You get 10 of those, whatever you want to call those things, and 10 star gems. So it gets something, but again, you're not going to get a free Ultra Rare. Who knows, maybe next season. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this episode. So as we know from last time, these girls are trying to promote the idea of having a school idol festival where they have a bunch of girls from different schools go and perform. She, which is the student council vice president, was wondering what exactly is a school idol. So, of course, Satsunyuki decides to answer as she is very knowledgeable on that, but she's also the student council president. So other people are just like, why do you know so much about this? So, of course, this makes her a bit nervous, but she's able to get by without having too much suspicion. But these girls decide that they're not opposed to the idea of having it. There's just a few things they would like to see happen before they could say okay with this plan. And these girls feel like it's a little much, but they can probably handle it. So the big idea is to figure out where they're going to propose this event. So these girls start going around looking for potential venues for the school idol festival. And you're going to see that they try a bunch of different locations. This one, I believe, is where Rina performed her solo song for Synagogue Connect, as the stage seems to be very much like that. They also look at a bridge, I guess. So I'm assuming they're not going to hold on the stairway here. And they find an open city, which definitely appeals to some people. And this one, honestly, is a really nice stage here. I would like to see this, but that's, of course, where we had Butterfly. And now, these girls each have their own ideas, but a lot of them want something very different. And just as a side note, I just wanted to say Kanta has a really goofy face in this frame. So I just wanted to show you guys that. Also, they are looking to collaborate with the other schools. So, of course, we're going to look at Shinonome with Haruka, which is younger sister of Kanata. And, of course, the other school, which is the Toho Academy, which is the 2 girls on the bottom. And they want to make sure that these girls will be interested. And they definitely are, especially this girl here, where she is very interested, at least in Kaden. And then Misaki ends up telling her. And Kaden goes and sweeps in and does her charm. I just gotta say, this is kind of a funny moment to see Kaden go and do this, and this makes her kind of faint. But these girls are definitely all up for it. They are tentatively planning to do it. They just looking to probably get some approval by the rest of the members. So now they go back to the idea of figuring out where they're gonna have their venue. So we get to see the introduction of the Kasumi box, which a lot of the other girls find pretty cute. But more or less, this is just a suggestion box where they get filled in with a bunch of ideas from people around school, and well, it was empty. And why was that the case? Well, maybe it's because it's summer vacation, as you point out, and there's not going to be that many people here, nor do anyone knows about this festival at all. But Kasumi is crushed, and someone is taking a look at a certain incident. We'll get to see more of this eventually. But then I get a bright idea and decides to put this on here to make it more obvious what is the purpose of this box. Rina, also realizing it's the summer vacation, she decides that she should help out with that. The other girls from the other clubs decide to make cookies of these girls. We'll get to see more of these, but I just figured this is really cute, so I had to show. But she ends up saying, yeah, they should go and spread the word, which is important, especially if they have a suggestion box. So Rina is determined to help out and spread the word out here. The other girls are currently doing their exercising and trying to build stamina here. Ayumu notices a certain girl with another girl, and we'll have to see how that makes her feel. But of course, it's another look to how she's feeling internally when she sees you with Setsuna again. At the end of the day, we have Ayumu waiting for you next to her bags, and then she ends up waking up later when you comes down pretty late here. They end up walking home together, and you goes and stares at her piano and her headphones. So Yu's like wondering what can you do, especially to help out everyone, and they come out and they find this suggestion box or Katsumi box full, and they start reading a lot of these, especially like this girl where they talked about how the songs that helped her out, and we get to see the animal outfits, which is really cool to see. We don't get to see all of them, but we do get to see these, which is really, really nice to have. And then we get to see all the girls in cookie form here, so I definitely had to show you that because it's, again, pretty cute to have. And past that, we also get to see Rina's really sparkly face when she sees the cookies. And we just get to see that they want to make everybody's wish come true as idols, and it's really hard to do that if they only pick one venue. So they want to make it where everyone can be involved, various idols held at various different locations. So we have like the Rena's location, and if Rena wants to perform there, she can go perform there, or if someone has a similar style to that. So they have a bunch of different locations and have that make it so everyone can do it where they want to. Now, I don't know if I'm really completely sold on the idea, like the whole idea of like things like the Diver Fest and like the Love Live competition is that all these girls have to come to a certain location so that someone can experience all of the idols. This one lets more people experience them separately, but it's going to be really hard or almost impossible to have everyone enjoy all the idols, because then there's going to have to be a lot of transportation, and potentially certain girls might be performing during the same time. So I don't know how feasible it is if you're going to be a super activist and who wishes to see all of the idols perform. And that's kind of the whole point of a festival, is you just bring a bunch of these girls into one location so you can get all of them easily. So we'll have to see how that goes, but I just figured I get it, but I feel like there's a definite cost to that kind of idea. So this idea ends up getting approved by the student council. Setsuna actually applying to seal herself, and these girls are really excited. In fact, this girl who was unsure about idols says she ends up researching them and starting to like Setsuna Yuki, which makes someone nervous here. So of course, as Setsuna hears this, she's pretty excited to hear that, as she has another fan, but of course that is the vice president. So that's definitely going to complicate things, so Setsuna has to work really hard to keep her superhero identity, I guess. And we get another scene where Yu is next to Setsuna, but I mean, there's nothing special about that. So Ayumi anyway decides, I'm just going to get over and get some drinks. But Setsuna decides to come, and then that's where Ayumi gets the opportunity to ask Setsuna what happened during that last episode where they fell on each other. And Setsuna's like, yeah, she just played the piano with me. But then Ayumi's like, what? She did what? And those eyes just really feel like she's in despair and feels like she got betrayed because her friend played piano for someone else. So Ayumi goes home devastated, laying on her bed, but she gets a text from Yu, so she decides to go over, and she notices that Yu has a piano here, and she's like, yeah, I've been practicing, but not that great. But she does wish to get better. But Ayumi's like, yo, you can't do that. So I selected some scenes here where you might be able to take this way more out of context than it should, but you just look at that and just, yikes, that's like the eyes of a killer here. But obviously that's not quite what's going on, but Ayumi is extremely jealous here, and it's really showing. But he was like, no, that's not what's important. She just wants to be friends with everyone, and she has this dream. But Ayumi's like, no, not at all. You kind of get the scene that reminds me a lot of romance animes where she's like, you can't do this. You have to be with me by my side. So we get to see a little picture of these girls when they're really young, but I guess we don't get to see their faces for whatever reason. But Ayumi just wishes that you would stay with her and her only, as if like she's her prisoner or like only friend at all. And I do understand that they're big childhood friends, but that's a bit much here. So there's a lot to unpack here, but let's get a little preview of the next episode, which since the title is pink, it should be focusing on Ayumu and her struggle, not so much on Yu. Of course, we still should be progressing with the School Idol Festival, as now that it's officially been approved. Ayumu said she wanted to become an idol because of Yu, and she very much still can be the case. I just don't see why Yu branching out and getting more friends with a bunch of all the idols make it like she's betraying him. It's not like they're in a relationship or anything, but that's kind of almost feels like what it is. I understand if like your best friend is getting way more friendly with other people, you might feel like, well, that's my best friend, how could you do that? And feels like you're not my best friend anymore. But this definitely feels like it's quite a stretch, even though you decided and told her, Setsuna's not more important to me. So I don't know, I definitely feel like Ayumu's definitely overreacting here, but maybe it's just that she not as comfortable with other people. So when you see like you're mostly your only friend here, it definitely feels like you're losing someone important, but that's definitely not the case. But let me know what you guys feel about how Ayumu is acting here. And my goodness, it's really annoying to try to record and talk about Ayumu and you, because sometimes I swap them for whatever reason. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in general. We have two facets to this episode, of course, with the creation and continuation and the eventual approval of the Squall Festival. Of course, that's still going. So let me know what you think is going to happen in that situation. What venues are you think it's going to happen? Are we going to see some performances from other groups? Maybe, maybe not. At least that's we're going to see Nijigasaki High School Idol Club as a group perform. At least that's what the future releases tell me. So we should at least get one, maybe two songs, probably one, I would imagine. And beyond that, maybe nothing else. And maybe we'll get a look at the other girls dancing, but and getting a song. Probably not. I would imagine that wouldn't be the case. But let me know what you guys think about that, as well as the interactions with the other clubs. Also, what do you think about this situation with Ayumu? And is she justified? Is she overreacting? Why do you think she might be behaving this way? Let me know all about that in the comments below. But thank you guys for watching, and hope to catch you guys in another video soon.